Hello everyone, it's Wednesday on YourView. Welcome to the show. I am Mariah Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Nima Akasha Ziberi.
How are you doing?
How are you today?
I forgot my banter.
All
Okay, you caused it.
You have the kids, the family.
Hey, they are fine. Happy Hijrah to Muslims. So someone said I didn't mention the year. So I consider my personal celebrations that the new Islamic calendar starts, the lunar one. I use it.
When does it start?
It started yesterday.
So how does it work? When you say you use it, what do you mean by that?
I use it to mark my
reflections.
no, not my personal, to mark my religious events, my birthday, my children's birthdays as well.
Okay.
And I calculate some events on it. So if it's on the Hijra calendar, I should be about 40. I should be 43 or 42 years old now.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow.
So I do that. I just do it because I have the knowledge. But because this is Nigeria, our official calendar is the Gregorian.
So those in Saudi use that calendar. That means that somebody who's your age right now is probably older than you.
So the lunar month is not 30, 31 days like you have under the Gregorian calendar. So, of course, it's a different year.
Somebody who's like,
just as they have a different calendar in China, and I think the Japanese use the dragon and all of those.
Yes, because I know some of us do 1 year before the other countries. Say that they've not entered their 1 year.
Some people say their month is the whole year in the Gregorian in some countries. So, but we use the Gregorian here officially, so that's why I stick to it.
Interesting.
Nice. Interesting. How are you doing, Tokwe?
I'm fine. Then, Nima, what did I get the earring from?
We got gifts from Christine Dako Makari.
Oh, you say you're wearing yours, Abby?
Oh. Okay, you got earrings too. Okay, she knows I will not wear earrings, so she sent me a
Did I get
bracelet.
something?
Yes.
You did.
She did not put that package. So they sent us.
I hope that you still have the package. It's a really nice box.
When did you get it?
A few weeks ago.
Agnes!
You are calling Agnes on live television.
I'm telling you.
She knows what to do during the
I
break.
know what I might not remember, but I remember
Giving it to
I'll check out.
So,
very light.
Christine Dako Makari of
Thank you,
producer of
Christine.
Unveiling Africa.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Christine.
This year has
get
done
your
her
number.
appearance. Wait for your own.
Appearance or what?
Yes.
Tell me.
An interview on her show.
Oh, you didn't tell me that either.
People should not take away my
I
banter.
didn't
I
tell
have
you.
banter
You didn't
planned.
tell-
Oh, yeah.
but I don't
Let me say
remember.
my banter. I went to Ekpe yesterday.
Yeah, how was the road?
It was surprisingly, I've been to Ibejuleke several times, site inspection, and I always felt like Ibejuleke was really, really far. I thought Ekpe was farther. Actually, Ekpe is closer to Lagos than Ibejuleke.
Yes, it is.
So I went to Ekpe. It was a short trip, surprisingly, and the road is heavy-duty construction work. The government had hand concrete work from that. You mentioned LBS. There's all the way to the bridge. After the bridge, the roads are being done. Not completely, one side completely done. Second side, they are already grading the road, working on it. So I was happy to see that because everybody is screaming, Ekpe is the new Lagos. All of us are going to go and buy land in Ekpe to sell. So, and there are many estates already there, but I was happy to see the level of construction going on there. And I was happy to say that it is closer than Ibejuleke. And I'm also very happy with the level of work Ambode did within Ekpe. The roads are good. The connectivity across everywhere. Ekpe is like a city waiting to be discovered. And I think people can just go there for to the Ekpe resort and all of that. It's a really beautiful place to visit. It's very calm for Lagos.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
And I spent the night in Visi's house.
Okay.
Nice. So how come
I left for work without even
Yes,
saying good morning. She was in one side of the...
No, Toko doesn't say good morning. Haven't you noticed?
No, I didn't even check up on her today.
Shy.
I had my routine, so nobody scatters
how
my
you
routine.
doing,
I'm
though?
doing amazing. I'm doing great. So I started this vegetarian journey.
Oh, nice.
Yes, today's date is I think 11. It's my 11th day. And,
No meat, no fish.
no meat, no fish, no animal protein. But I still, because I'm doing lacto-ovo vegetarianism, I can still have eggs, milk, animal byproducts. Yes, till I get to another level where I go to veganism. But I'm not rushing it. I'm taking it one day at a time. And it's been really refreshing. I feel light already.
Yeah.
So I've been making my soups without any form of protein. If you know me and you come to my house and eat, you know that the protein is always fighting for space. Now I have to eat without protein. And so I begged my help. I said, please help me make some soup without anything. And she did it. It turned out lovely yesterday. Granite soup.
It is.
I really enjoy it. I'm going to dash her money when I get home. She tried.
So what do you use as protein?
I use tofu.
Tofu.
Made from soybean milk.
Right.
Yeah, so it works as protein.
So
There's
that's
another one made from wheat that works as protein. And mushrooms.
It's really nice. That's what I've been doing that made me lose weight.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I'm not doing it for weight loss.
But it has many health benefits.
Yeah.
Mariah, how are you doing?
I'm fine.
What's going on? There's so much this that you are just...
Let me go on a break.
What's your category?
Hey, come back. We'll go through the front pages of the papers.
Let's just be eating it.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
We're going to start with the nation. Governors give seconders soft landing, pacify Wike. APC governors back Buni-led caretaker panel. NIN compulsory for WASI next year. VAT yields 1 trillion naira in 6 months. Dixon protests EFCC grilling over the 17.5 billion naira cash. Lagos records 42 COVID-19 deaths in 8 days. Nigeria takes on Indonesia over assault on envoy. And if I reincarnate, I would remain Fela's disciple. Okay.
Go to COVID-19.
Let's start COVID, then we'll go to the VAT.
Yes. So the Health Commissioner of Health, Professor Akin Abayomi, yesterday made a pronouncement, said about 42 persons have died as a result of COVID-19 complications between August 1st and August 8th. And he said they have tested about 2,368 persons and 219 cases were positive out of it. Especially in places like Lagos, the isolation centers are already filled to the brim. And if this continues, they may likely have to open other isolation centers to take care of the people. He said out of the 57,282 persons that have been infected, 4,481 has recovered. This is all the data from the beginning when COVID-19 started. And they are appealing to everybody to try as much as possible to use their face masks. They are not going to be locking down anything or not allowing people move about and do their businesses, but we need to take precautions so that we do not, personal precautions so that we do not come down with COVID-19.
Okay, let's take
We need to stress the VAT story. So the Federal Inland Revenue Service are just announcing that in 6 months they made 1 trillion naira from VAT across the country. And so, while celebrating that, they got the news of them not entitled to the VAT from the from the Rivers State High Court, and they are going to appeal the judgment.
Okay. All right, so NIN, according to WAEC, they're saying that from next year, everyone who registers for WAEC must have the NIN, and they're asking students to begin to register and get their NIN before then. Say as we continue to make progress in the conduct of council, they are going to ensure that all prospective candidates must register with the National Identification Management Commission, that's NIMC, to get their NIN.
Interesting. I want to take the story of what happened in Borno State. So the Islamic Human Rights Advocacy Group, Muslim Rights Concern, MURIC, have released reports that, based on their own investigation, mentioning the dates, and they visited each site that the governor of Borno State, under the Borno State Geographic Information System, BOGIS, pulled down 11 mosques. 5 of the mosques were pulled down because 6 of the mosques were built down because they were conversion of residential. They didn't have the right to be where they were. Conspicuously located, got a different documentation and built a mosque where they shouldn't have built it, residential areas and all of that. And the remaining number of mosques were pulled down because it was overriding public interest. While this was a response to 3 churches that were pulled down, they were saying only 3 churches were pulled down because the churches were built in residential areas. Like the churches were residents and they converted into church and they pulled down.
What it reminds me that when governance happens, people then bring in religious, it's been a question. They bring in religious sentiments and tribal sentiments. So he's just trying to tell that, yes, I pulled down 3 churches, but I'm also pulling down about 11 mosques. Okay, moving on now to the punch. FG recalls envoy as Indonesian officials assault Nigerian diplomat. Man 28 arrested for kidnapping and raping a 15-year-old after collecting ransom. Ex-PAMSEC and 86 others write Buhari and ex-presidents. National Assembly demands restructuring before 2023. 24 killed in Sokoto as household seasons food with fertilizer. Dixon dismisses petition as EFC grills ex-governor over alleged 17.5 billion naira diversion. South Middle Belt Forum's planned protest over self-determination at UN. World Bank lists Nigeria, 9 others high debt risk nations. States won against violation of 30-day cases hit over 10,070 deaths. Okay, who wants to take...
Nigeria is owing money. Before we go, like, not that about owing money. It's that right now we are among the top 10 countries in the world that are at risk, high debt risk. And I know the Minister for Finance will say something different. Probably the CBN government will have something different. But this was released by the World Bank as an international development association, among what the World Bank does every year, to release this statement that there are two types of credit risk. Countries that have credit and counterpart credit risk. Nigeria is among the top 10. And it's something that we should be worried about. Because we keep planning our budgets for each year with the intention to borrow. And we're not ready to face the fact that we might not have anybody borrow us money again.
Yeah, the major headline, yeah. So there was a viral video, some of us have seen the video, where a Nigerian diplomat was being harassed by the Indonesian, I think, officials, immigration officials. So according to the story, they said they saw him in the taxi car being pressed down to the seat, and he was screaming, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. And when they asked them what happened, they gave the story that they were searching for illegal immigrants, and that was why they felt probably he was one of them. But this is somebody who is a diplomat. So let's just leave the story as it is. Though Nigeria has recalled him to come back, and investigations are ongoing to see what the Indonesian government will do about this. So when we talk about it, we'll get into the details.
So a prominent northern elder, Alhaji Abbas Sambo, has written to the president and other ex-presidents saying that there's a need to restructure the country before 2023. According to him, we should restructure such that there are 6 political zones and they'll be headed by premiers or prime ministers. These are the ones that will have the immunities, that we should take off the immunities from governors, and that 2023 is such an important mark for us, and we must ensure that the country must restructure before that period. Okay, moving on now to, is there another story that...
Yes,
this
EFCC
human interest story caught my attention. Yes, go ahead.
I want to take the EFCC has invited the current senator and former governor of Bayelsa, former Governor Dixon, to break down some expenditures. There were allegations that there was mismanagement of funds between 2012 and 2020, and in going through everything, there is answering questions. We're waiting to see what the result of the investigations would be, but the Bayelsa governor said that he got the information 2 weeks ago. Bayelsa former governor said he got information 2 weeks ago, and because of his busy schedule, he has rescheduled. As a law-abiding citizen, he has honored the invitation that he rescheduled, and is cooperating with EFCC. So we wait to see the result of the
A 28-year-old young man has been arrested by the police, and I'm so happy this arrest was made because he confessed to sexually assaulting, actually raping a 15-year-old young girl who he kidnapped repeatedly. He and his friends. Although those ones are still at large, but he was able. They arrested him, and he's confessed to the crime.
Wow.
I'm happy that that happened, because many of these cases happen and nothing. And we don't see the
What about the fertilizer story?
Yes,
Okay.
I have that. Do we have time for that? Yes. So 24 people were killed in a household in Danzanke village. This happened in Sokoto State. They said they made food with a particular fertilizer instead of using salt. Gishirin lale, that's what they used to prepare the food, and they ate it, and almost everybody died. I think just 2 people who barely tasted the food are in the hospital right now. They are responding to treatment. So the state is, advising its residents to be very careful on how they eat. These are things that you can solve by yourself. And I'm wondering, why do you spice your food with a fertilizer?
No. It probably looks like salt. It's a mistake. So it probably looks like salt, and they put it inside water. Then sprinkle it on. So it's about the way we keep our things, and I think every farmer should be aware that there are hazardous chemicals. There's even on your food where you grow your plant fertilizer. They're supposed to really wash it to take out the fertilizer elements, residues inside it. So we are not supposed to keep it where you keep your food stuff. There should be places where you keep everything that.
And also, you see, I mean, this is an opportunity to talk about masking tips. I love masking tips. You can actually write on them. Label every single thing can be labeled easily and just write on it. I know they might not be masking tape, but the idea is that always keep.
But it's for
stuff
even
like
if
that
you're
away
not
from kids.
literate and you can't write anything, it's simply shelving. So
Yes.
growing up, when my grandma knew anything,
There was no masking tape.
we used to use you need to stretch hand to take certain things and
And easy
just
to
keep
take
away
other
at
things.
the
I have those on to the family.
Let's go. Yeah, I remember
Very
my
avoidable
mother-in-law gave me rat poison when my kids, and I said, man, I don't want to because they're still small. When they grow up, they can pick things on the floor. So you have to be very careful. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll return with the other reviews. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
For nearly 7 years, I've dialogued with the masses on the streets, in the IDP camps, and in the market. In the same vein, I've conversed with power brokers in both the public and private sectors. I decided to take things a step further in 2017 by bringing these power brokers face to face with the masses to foster accountability and transparency in governance, while promoting the entrenchment of democracy and sustainable development. As we count down to the 5th edition of the Osasu Show Symposium themed State of the Nation, the People's Constitution, I'd like you to think, if given the chance, what policies and laws would I create to better our collective state as a people? This year is all about you and I. The stage is ours. Sign up now to participate.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communications story.
Àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n bá kú tọ́jọ́ ọkú wọn ò tí ì pé wọ́n á papòdà síbòmíì.
that how you gonna say it?
Bó ṣe wá kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ yìí pé òun fẹ́ rí mi kájọ fojúkojú yìí kò yé èmi o.
Bó ṣe pé ẹ̀rí ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ àyà mi sì sọ kí.
Torí kí ni?
Àkọ́yẹ́ kọ́ mọ píjẹ́ ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ yọ ọmọ mú yẹn rí flashback jọ́ ìkéyọ̀ mọ́ tó mọ́ ẹgbọ́n mọ́.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to move on now to Daily Sun. APC crisis, governors stand by Buni. Separatist agitators to stage 1 million man march at the UN this September. Lagos denies takeover claims of Lekki concession company. We've spent over 500 billion naira on COVID-19 intervention. Seconds to go in October. No plans to sell airports, says Minister. Enugu government firm trained 400 youths in auto revamp innovation. Okay, which story are we still?
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, may we clarify, because I took the story yesterday. According to the Commissioner for Information, he said that that story making the rounds is not right, that the Lagos State, the government of Governor Sanwo-Olu did not approach the House of Assembly to take over the Lekki concession company, that its request was to convert the African Development Bank loan from a private sector commercial loan to a sovereign public sector loan, which attracts lower interest, and this will enable the company to make some savings. The government, in fact, acquired full shares equity of the former owners of the company in 2014, so they couldn't be doing that again this time around.
So still correcting misinformation, the Minister for Aviation, Hadi Sirika, was addressing in a Zoom meeting the fact that there were speculations that maybe the government wanted to sell the international airport, and he said that there are no plans to sell the airports, that currently our international airports are not being well managed, and that the government cannot fund the management of the airport. So what they are doing now is for the international terminals of Lagos, Abuja, Kano, Port Harcourt, there would be a concession to private investors to manage it for a while, after which it will be restored to the government.
Well done. Yeah, so separatist groups, they call themselves the Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination, NINAS, to hold a 1 million march in front of the United Nations headquarters in New York, USA. And one of the things they are going to be demanding for is a referendum on self-determination and abolition of the 1999 Constitution. So this group is an umbrella body of self-determination between the South-South, Southeast, Middle Belt, and Ilana Omo Odua. Ilanomo Odua. For the Yoruba So they are going to be having this march from the 14th of September to the 21st of September, and they are going to be appealing to the United Nations to provide a peacekeeping call to Nigeria for those people that are being...
to send their call to us. Come on, tell us. Okay, I was really excited about this news. Enugu State is doing great things. I saw it on the papers that they are training 400 youth in auto revamp innovation. That is great news because, according to the special advisor to the governor, he says that the first batch of the beneficiaries who participated in the 8-month-long auto revamp have graduated and will be empowered to become technically empowered to begin their own businesses. But the point is that I like the fact that the governor is taking it important for those to empower young people in automobile development, because that is an industry that has not been given enough attention.
It's almost an industry that is genetically whatever to the Easterners.
But this is now they are skilled, and they will be. This is the kind of empowerment I believe that should be applauded and replicated across other states. 400, this is a huge number.
And I proudly tell everybody that, listen, TVC has been a supporter of innocent motors. We have a lot of our cars, our official cars are innocent, and we support that industry. And we're really happy to see that the Enugu State government is also doing the same thing. Well done. Moving on to Daily Trust. Police phone tracker inactive 7 months after collapse. Over 50% of Nigerian children unregistered at birth, says UNICEF. Dangote's net worth hit $17.8 billion, the only Nigerian on Bloomberg's billionaires list.
Wow.
APC governors asked Buni Committee to organize convention. And Masari fails to conduct local government polls in 6 years despite Supreme Court judgment. Major headline, who has that story?
I do.
Go ahead.
Major story.
So according to the Daily Trust reports that, based on their investigation, they gathered that the equipment used for tracking terrorists, kidnappers, other criminals have been inactive for over 7 months since January 1, 2021, when it stopped working. And according to them, it said fees that were supposed to be paid by the force for requisite services to enable them function were not remitted. And that's part of what happened.
But I smell conspiracy.
But Frank Kumba has responded. He said that, that the device was being upgraded and remodeled, and that is not true. That it was for lack of, but I know it's not functioning. I tried to do a track and arrest.
No. Just the spokesperson is not saying it confirms it's not functioning, but giving a different reason for why it's not functioning. So, and our government is serious about fighting kidnapping.
But I wonder if you want to upgrade or remodel such a thing, should it take you this long?
But he's saying,
considering how important it is,
and we are fighting like the biggest challenge we have.
He also said that the reason why they didn't talk about it because they don't want the criminals to know that they're having issues with this. So it's been upgraded, but it's not supposed to be announced. So now that we have announced
that you're trying to get
obviously. Please let me take the governor of Masari, governor of Katsina State, since 2015 hasn't conducted local government elections. It dissolves the local government that the chairmen that were in place before they went to court, and the Supreme Court 3 months ago has upheld the voiding of his dissolution of the last elected council. So they've had caretaker chairman for a long time. And he already said that when Supreme Court case comes out, they would be getting a new election taking place. And 3 months after there's no election. So people are clamoring that, can we have a proper instituted, elected officials at the chairman, at the local government level of Katsina State? And we'd like to hear what he would say concerning that.
Yeah, so the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, UNICEF, is saying that 50% of the births of children under 5 years remain unregistered in Nigeria. And we account for 11% in West Africa, for unregistered children in West Africa. So they said that they know that we are addressing structural, normative, and operational challenges to birth registration, but it's something that we need to work hand in hand so that every child is registered, every child has an opportunity to have health and education. And it's through registration that we can get to that level. And we also need to, we have the Sustainable Development Goals that everybody's working towards for 2030. And one of them is to provide a legal identity for all. So if we can register all of our children, that means we're able to give them. I'm
even surprised that we have that much people unregistered. That means they don't give birth in the hospitals.
That means they don't give birth in hospitals that they don't get the local government registration birth certificates on. Yeah.
Moving on now to Vanguard. Crisis, Secondo survives as PDP fixes convention for October. Again, the ladies have refused to read political stories.
Yeah, you're not interested. No, you're on, darling.
All right, let's find a story we've not taken. FG receives 176,000 doses of Johnson & Johnson vaccine today. Surrendered Boko Haram top commanders beg for forgiveness. Nigerians react. Fiscal deficit pressure. FG increases domestic borrowing by 33.9% to about 3.3 trillion naira in H1 2021, that's the first quarter of the year. Assault, FG recalls ambassador to review diplomatic relations with Indonesia. And end strike, negotiates with your government. APC tells striking doctors. Any story that...
I just need to appeal to our government officials, people that are decision makers in the country, that considering how much money we are borrowing, we need to block leakages. The EFCC needs to work more. We need to cut costs because we cannot sustain this, and they are all older people. Most of our leaders are in the 50+ percentile. It would be better for them not to give our own children and their grandchildren debts as a nation.
Talking about our leaders, Babangida is 80. Babangida is 80.
Yes, sir.
This is weird.
He has long life.
Hey,
contrary to what everybody has been saying. Contrary to all the courses that were placed on all our former leaders.
The man is 80. God is giving him long life, according to God's will.
As well.
Moving on to the Nigerian Tribune. PDP. I'm not going to talk about politics. Let's find another story. NIN, we've discussed it. NDLA arrests 43 drug dealers, seizes 137.55 kg of cocaine in Ondo, Nasarawa, Benue. Nigerian Air Force strikes, kill 45 terrorist leaders in Zamfara forest. That's a good story. 4 killed as militia invade Benue community. Bandits killed over 112 in Kaduna Plateau in 1 month. Dangote, only Nigerian on Bloomberg's top billionaires list. Akintoye Turaki orders to lead the 1 million man march at the UN General Assembly. Nigeria threatens to review relationship with Indonesia. Let's find another story. Guinea confirms West Africa's first case of Ebola-like Marburg virus. Hey,
Hey. Did you take that? You could give us the story.
Hey.
So, health officials in Guinea said that, they have the first case of a highly infectious disease called the Ebola-like Marburg, and that they've taken sample, they've done the test, and it's been confirmed that that virus is existing. The UN has said that they should do everything in their power to nip it in the bud, because the spread of this virus would be very bad, as its symptoms are like and even worse than the Ebola virus. That's the WHO, has said that it should be nipped. The World Health Organization nipped in the bud immediately as soon as it's discovered. But we have that story.
Another story?
Yeah, so operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, are launching fresh raids in states like Nasarawa, Benue, and Ondo states. And they were about to get, they were able to catch 43 suspected dealers and consumers of illicit substances. They got 137.55 kilograms of assorted drugs were recovered from them. And also in Ondo State, their chapter in Ondo State was able to get a particular woman, a 44-year-old woman who the husband escaped, but in their building, they were able to get 65 kilograms of cannabis sativa, 500 grams of skunk, 16 grams of loud, 34 grams of Colorado, bringing the total of drugs seized from them to 65.950 kilograms. So they're really moving from state to state and carrying out all of these raids. I bless them.
The story yesterday was very, very touching, as in the drug-related story. Very, very sad story that...
Yeah, okay, so we have to run off, but Amnesty International has released a report saying that 112 people been killed in Kaduna and Plateau State in just 1 month. Yes, while 160 individuals were abducted with thousands displaced as a result of the violent attacks that's happened in these states. They're saying that despite the clear signs that there might be retaliatory attacks, enough is not being done to repel these bandits that come to attack and kidnap Nigerian citizens.
I think we should just first call them. I think a lot is being done because we see, at least the story of the firefight, the guy that survived after his plane was shot down. It means that many attacks are going on, and we hear the stories. But can we proscribe them? Can we call them a terrorist group so that when they are caught, there's no reconciliation? They are terrorist groups.
Okay, on that note, we're going to go on a break. When we return, we're still on this matter of the Boko Haram. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
For nearly 7 years, I've dialogued with the masses on the streets, in the IDP camps and in the market. In the same vein, I've conversed with power brokers in both the public and private sectors. I decided to take things a step further in 2017 by bringing these power brokers face to face with the masses to foster accountability and transparency in governance, while promoting the entrenchment of democracy and sustainable development. As we count down to the 5th edition of the Osasu Show Symposium themed State of the Nation, the People's Constitution, I'd like you to think, if given the chance, what policies and laws would I create to better our collective state as a people? This year is all about you and I. The stage is ours. Sign up now to participate.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's Your View. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup? Check. Are the scripts on the prompter? Script? Check. Are we set in the VCR? All team in place? VCR? Check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights are. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
kádàrá aláwọ̀ àkàkàdù. àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n bá kú tọ́jọ́ ọkú wọn ò tí ì pé wọ́n á papòdà síbòmíì.
Is that how you gonna say?
kọjú wa sọ nìyẹn.
ó ṣe wá kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ yìí pé òun fẹ́ rí mi kájọ fojúkojú yìí kò yé èmi o.
bó ṣe pé ẹ̀rí ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ àyà mi ti sọ kí.
torí kí ni.
àkọ́yẹ́ kọ́ mọ pé jẹ́rẹ̀ ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ yọmọ mú yẹn rí flashback jọ́ọ̀rẹ́ kí ọmọ tó mọ ẹgbọ́n mọ́.
Thanks for staying with us. So recently, members of the Boko Haram and Islamic State of West Africa province, ISWAP terrorist group, recently surrendered to the Nigerian army in the north, and we're begging Nigerians to forgive them for their activities thus far. Now, what are your thoughts on this? Nigerians have reacted so far. I mean, these were about, I think it was about quite a number of commanders, and they had the followers, about over 1,000 followers, who were begging the commanders to forgive them and asking Nigerians to also forgive them. And obviously, social media is reacting to this, and people have different views. We'd like to hear your view. You can call us on 081-270-53687, 091-390-76948. You can send us messages on YouTube and on Facebook. We'd like to hear your thoughts. Now, the reason why this was an interesting conversation is because there are two sides of it. So there's one part of forgive us for what we've done for the past 12 years. There's another part saying, don't forgive them. There's a third part saying, listen, if we don't forgive them, how do we get access to the leaders? Because remember, it was actually the bomb maker was the one that he was the leader that was caught, that came, that surrendered, and then all his followers are the ones. So how do we get to the real crux of the Boko Haram if we don't forgive? So that's the conversation I want us to have. What are your thoughts on this? Where do you stay and how do you see this? Let me start with Nima.
To me, I'm not of the group that forgive. I think this encourages crime. So these people took a 12-year journey with the worst kind of heinous crimes of, torture, terrorism, and murder, and they popularized it for whatever reason. I don't agree with agitations that cost people's lives. So you don't come out later and then try to make a justification of, destabilizing people's lives. So what they did is beyond even just killing people. You displace people, and some people are still suffering from from the results of your consequence of your activities for that long. And maybe now you now become repentant. It's good. You ask forgiveness, but there must be consequence. Consequence because we must deter and discourage people who have this kind of inclination in the future. It is not, criminally inclined people should not be encouraged with a plea or, the reason why we have so much fraud is because we had soft laws on fraud and we had an imbalanced system that could not sufficiently prosecute it. If we had quick, instantaneous prosecution of all the fraud cases that we had and sent people to jail, and we had strong punitive measures for it, people will stop thinking about it.
Let me carry on.
The reason we have laws is because in dealing with human beings, people would always break rules and regulations, and the laws are there to guide interactions, so that when those rules and regulations are broken, you will put something in place so that other people don't feel, okay, I can do this and get away with it. What I see that's happening is a lot of people feel, okay, we can do this. Well, after a while, we'll come and say we are sorry. And the president or the government will welcome us and, with open arms and forgive us, and then we go back into the society. And I want to question the integrity of that forgiveness that we are asking for. How are we sure that they are truly repentant? That's one of the questions we should be asking. Secondly, how do we, because this has gone beyond a crime of you're committing a crime against another person. You have committed a crime against the state. And the job of the state is to protect the lives and properties of their citizens. You have displaced a lot of people from that. And so the state should be the one saying, we can't have this conversation with you right now. You have committed a crime. You must be punished for that crime so that other people don't do the same thing. Now, if we take it like, okay, they have apologized, excuse me, the people who have lost lives, the people who have lost their children, lost husbands, the people who don't have homes anymore, what is going to happen to them? Okay. Now, if other crime factions, the kidnappers, the bandits, the 419ers, if they say, okay, I've given my life to anybody, forgive me, I'm not going to do this again, are we going to release the prison so that we let them out?
All right, so I hear that, and I'll come to you, Tokwe, because there is that part of, listen, the greater good. We're trying to achieve an objective to stop this and nip it at the bud. Now, if we have this group come to us and we say, forgive me. Now, first of all, we don't have enough prisons to accommodate all these people. If all the whole of Boko Haram come today and want to arrest them today, there's nowhere to accommodate them in prison, number one. So it's either, do you think reconciliation, or how do we reconcile the Nigerian society with these people? Or do you think we just throw them out, we just kill them? Because what are the options? Do we just throw them in a pit and burn them to ashes?
Okay, so I believe that I'm a proponent of forgiveness. I believe human beings change. I believe that everybody must be given an opportunity to retrace their steps and do better. I also believe that a society that doesn't respect the rule of law would experience anarchy, and there is no denying the fact that we're somewhat on the brink, if we're not there, of anarchy as a nation. So yes, my first reaction is let's forgive. But we must understand what are the pros and cons of forgiveness. What is the impact of forgiveness? We set a very bad precedent, and with all sense of responsibility and fairness to the people of Niger Delta, I understand that I can never imagine the struggles that they went through before they took to Bonkri and crime. But when the government decided that the line of action was to reward them with money and pay them and created an amnesty structure, what we had done invariably was to create a system that rewards the height of criminality. So you must not be a criminal in a small level, because if you become a criminal in a high level, you are able to negotiate. And then precedence is now on ground. The Boko Haram can say, but you rewarded these people. You created a system to assimilate them back to the society. So I believe in forgiveness. We need to forgive and move on. However, I do not agree with assimilating back in society, because what they did was not... It was not a cry for justice. It's not Niger Delta. Niger Delta had a cry. You have polluted our country, our community. You have not given us fair access to resources within our area from what you're taking from us.
Yeah. That's why you should not even compare both of them. They are on two different levels.
Yeah, I'm not comparing. But they have a reason. In the case of Boko Haram, I'm making a point. In the case of Boko Haram, it is an ideological fight. It is a fight that we should not just bring them back. We should study them. Psychologists should sit down and understand why are they thinking the way they did. What would make somebody bomb him or herself? How do they indoctrinate people? So it's not a cry for forgiveness. It's a cry for we need to analyze them. So government can say we're bringing them in, but not that you bring them in and release them back to the society. No.
Point taken. But remember that this is not the whole of Boko Haram. We're having a conversation. Let's
be a
remember,
different faction.
There's a huge international body, ISWAP, that is funding these people.
Now funding them.
It is if this one faction is saying, I want to forgive, and we say, and we throw them out to the bath for saying we don't want to forgive, and we just arrest them, would others be interested in having this kind of conversation with us? I doubt it. So if it's for the greater good, do you think it's something we should consider at this time?
So this is what I pray. I don't pray that we consider ourselves so helpless that we're looking forward to negotiations with criminals. I pray that we are that giant that we have been called, and we're able to destroy every criminality within our force and protect our people. So I'm not waiting for the Nigerian government to expect the other people to now repent, and we are thinking of where to keep them. Now, what makes us sure that these people who lack integrity, people who looked their family members in the eye and displaced them, people who strapped up other humans and sent them to bomb other people, would have the integrity to truly repent? Because they've been fighting us from outside. May they not come and fight us from within? Do you understand? So I think we should be very careful here.
I said you can forgive, but don't assimilate back to society.
We failed at intelligence gathering a lot of times, so we cannot claim to have the intelligence to deal with this kind of criminals.
All right, let me go on the break. When we come back, we continue this conversation and take some more calls. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy eSplash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communications story.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topic.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing this issue of Boko Haram, asking for forgiveness. I have Robert on the call. Good morning. Are you there?
Hello.
Yes, you're live. Go ahead.
Mr. Robert.
Yes.
Mr. Robert. I just want to all those people, they are not Boko Haram people. They are Alumanjiri. They are not the real Boko Haram people. They are Alumanjiri. Don't mind our government. Some of our leaders, we're supposed to hang them because they are not talking truth, especially concerning Alumanjiri. They are all the especially concerning Boko Haram.
I couldn't hear in the voice.
They are not Boko Haram, they are Nigerians.
So we have comments.
They don't look like Boko Haram. But I wanted to say that forgiveness is a part of life. For us to have healthy relationships, there's always room for forgiveness. But forgiveness has levels. There are levels to forgiveness. And forgiveness does not erode consequences. Because if you forgive all of a sudden and your slate is clean and you are reintroduced into the society, what guarantees that you're not going back to work against what you have pleaded forgiveness for? So if we say we want to forgive, we should have steps to it. We should have things that they're supposed to do to earn that forgiveness. You don't just wake up and say, okay, I'm done with all the evil, come and accept me just like that. And when we don't, let us even give them a time frame. Okay, we're going to talk about this for a few months and see if they will not continue, because they are waiting and they are, trying to work on the emotions of Nigerians, because they know that, okay, now that we have apologized, if they forgive us, fine. If they don't forgive, let us give them a time frame. That way we can trust the intention of their forgiveness that they're asking for.
So you know abroad how when somebody is thrown in jail and you're on parole, and while you're on parole, they put a tracker on your leg. They know exactly where you do what you do, and the moment you commit any kind of crime, they throw you back in. Obviously, we can't put a track on every single person in this group, but the truth is that there has to be some kind of a system for us to know indeed if they are genuine about what they're asking for.
So
Yes.
please, let me quickly just throw this in before we take the comment. I need us to understand the fact that there are millions of displaced people who haven't been properly resettled. Millions of displaced people who were killed by the activities of this group, who are still at the camps, suffering, not having enough food or access to good education. And then, while they are still trying to get their lives on track, it will be unfair to see a government sort of now assimilate these people that are have claimed that we are confessed, we are sorry, we want to be forgiven, and then they now seemingly get rewarded even after committing crime. While we have people that are still in. So I believe you should forgive, but never forget, and don't just bring them back to society.
It depends on how you look at it, because as a government, I'm looking at it from different sides. One piece. So, for example, we bring in 1,000 Boko Haram members, and we reconcile them to society, and their task is to rebuild the society. So you're going to be the one to rebuild the houses. We're going to be the ones to rebuild the homes. You're going to want to go to the farm.
So
we put you to work. You are on community service for 20x years until we're going to restore the community that you have destroyed.
That sounds good.
There are terms and conditions for this reconciliation.
But we haven't heard those terms and conditions.
Let's be clear. But let me come to you.
They will not agree. They will not.
They will not agree.
They will not take it.
Okay. Yes. Let me take Samuel before I come to you, Nima. Samuel, are you there? Hello, Samuel.
Hello?
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning. My name is Samuel Adeyemo.
Yes, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I think the government should look at it holistically. Hello?
Go on. We can hear you very clearly.
Yes, I hope the government will look at this thing holistically.
Yes.
Because it's going to have a national effect.
Yes.
The national effect is that, look, these are criminals from a certain part of the country. Then definitely, because you have a president who is from that part of the country, then you must also look at, criminals again in the other part of the country. Because it will create agitation that, look, if you can forgive these people, then the Yahoo boys who are perceived to come from a part of the country should also be forgiven too.
Forgive
the
everybody.
robbers who are from a particular part of the country should be forgiven too.
Yes.
So, to me, I think it's not being fair. They are not being fair because the government is not.
Thank you, Samuel. Yes, Nima, go ahead.
So, me, I don't think they would agree. No matter, aside, let me not say an eye for an eye. Let them face the consequence under our laws for what they have done.
Yeah.
And whatever the consequences, let them face it. We can do other things, try to, find out whether they were forcefully recruited, because there are some people that were kidnapped and forcefully recruited or whatever we need to do. But you must hate what you have done. And that does not stop us from making them face the consequences of it. But I don't think a Boko Haram will take a 20-year-long community service. Their dignity will just take them back to that kind of commando life they lived. They were the commanders. They lived, they kidnapped people, make them work for them. They had
these guys don't look like commanders. These boys don't look like commanders. These boys on screen.
It's not by age in their side, though. It's as young as you are, as long as you can. The power was by the gun. So you lived by the gun and you could command anything.
And now you're carrying brooms to be sweeping which community. So let's even talk about the psychological effects on these people who have worked for years in this regard. It's not something they just come into the society and you feel assimilating them will work. They are not reasoning like you. Do we have plans to get therapists? Do we have plans to get psychologists? Do we have the money to do all of that? Because see, we need to be very clear when we are taking some steps. Except of course everybody's just pretending to know what they are saying and they don't know what they are saying. They need serious psychological evaluation.
I would like to assume like a nation like Nigeria would definitely think about that. I'm sure, you see, these are other things that can be done. What's more important is that should we even consider it in the first place? That's the conversation we're having here. Because remember, as I'm trying to repeat to this conversation, is that there's a greater problem. This guy that makes bombs for them and his followers are the ones that have surrendered. If we are trying to get to the bigger fish, for example, is it something worth considering that, listen, let us bring this in and hopefully the others will be able to come in? Because at the end of the day, these are Nigerians. They are Nigerians like you and I, and they deserve to be in this country also. However, we need them to pay for what they've done in the right way.
So, Morayo, I get that our leaders seem to be, they are tired. Like if you hear our governors, like they feel like they've tried everything. Nothing is working. Yes. So this is like a good way to, let's pay them. But let them play the tune of the current governor of Kaduna State, who said, who is allegedly had been paying bandits before and got to the point he cannot afford to pay them again and said, I'm not going to pay them. How much do you have to resettle them? How long will you resettle them? There are multiple approaches that we must use because we are facing a multidimensional challenge. So my desire is that let our leaders open themselves up to a more detailed, researched strategy towards solving this problem. It can't just be to just collect them back and say we're forgiving them in the hopes that they will bring us intelligence.
They haven't told us they're forgiving them. These are just asking them to forgive them. Let me come to Peace. Peace, are you there from Jos? Hello, Peace, are you there?
Hello?
Yes, you're live. Go ahead, please.
I think the issue of this Boko Haram, when you look at it critically, you will know that it's political because, okay. I said the issue of Boko Haram, I think, if you look at it critically, you will know it's political because 2023 is around the corner. And I'm sure they are doing this, they are bringing these people into the society so that they will use them as talk later. When you look at it, when you notice it, you will never see Boko Haram repenting immediately after election. You will see them repenting maybe close to the time of election. When you look at it, you will know that some things are happening with all this Boko Haram. And when you talk about forgiveness, you will know. If you forgive somebody that kills, or what of the people in prison, people that have been doing, maybe they saw something, Gary and the rest, they are still in prison. And those people that have been killing people, burning houses, they after repentance, they will go and give them houses, they will give them money, they will go and take them to who psychology. Why can't they take those people in the prison
Thank you very much. I think that's another very good angle because this could be for political reasons. I mean, this is something that, hey, this is a Nigerian factor.
Can you imagine
These
the
are
level of
things,
distrust we have for the government?
So Nigerians always feel that, okay, you bring in these people from all over, yes, and you're forgiving them because you're hoping that they can then be useful. Let me take the comments from late Colonel Sakaba's wife, who spoke about him. She posted it on Instagram also, and she was saying that she believes that we shouldn't forgive them because they killed her husband. I mean, these are people that have been displaced for many years, and it's unfathomable that you can actually think of forgiving these who have caused so much hatred to Nigerians in the past 12 years. Well,
Kelvin,
as I said, yes, go ahead.
Kelvin Ken Nagada says, let's learn from the UK. Mama Begon, who left the UK to become the ISIS bride, was rid of her citizenship despite her claim that she is remorseful. The crime is a crime, whether the criminal is criminal.
Right.
Isakbere Ogenero says it's a scam. Nigerian government should not integrate them back into society. They want to infiltrate the government. They want to, the way they did in Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and be sensible in Nigeria. Bilkis says, I'm wondering if it's been considered that they could even spy for their leaders. Who knows if they are being implanted, where they also recruited against their will.
Right. Okay, we have to run. Let me take 5 minutes.
So I just want to say that we should open our eyes. So for me, I feel they have been forgiven already because they gave them food, Nabi. Did you not see food there? And if you have not forgiven somebody, why are you giving them? I saw the food there. It's the picture. No, they are not
when you are forgiving somebody, you give them water.
Exactly. So maybe nobody's asking for our permission to forgive them. They could have forgiven them. But I want the government to be very careful because the international world is watching. Everybody is watching. When crimes are committed, punishment must follow to deter others. Simple.
Okay, we have to wrap up on this. I think what we've all agreed is that, listen, we are a sovereign nation and we shouldn't wait for people to ask for forgiveness before we do the right thing. So what we hope that Nigeria is doing is actually fishing out the root cause of this Boko Haram. Their real leaders must be fished out regardless. So you forgive or you don't forgive, we must be able to find a way to be able to win the war against terror in our country. I think that's the real objective that Nigerians are expecting. Let's go on a break. When we come back, another topic that really caught our attention, this issue that happened in Indonesia. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC Communications story.
Thanks for staying with us. So Nigerians are reacting to the story of a past, no, that's not the story we're talking about. Reacting to the diplomat who was assaulted in Indonesia. I'm going to play the video for you so you can see it. I must tell you that it's actually disturbing, so viewer discretion is advised.
Hey. Mau dipegangin deh, tangannya.
My leg! No! I can't breathe!
No!
I can't breathe!
You want
I can't breathe!
Huh? You know Indonesia, man? Huh? Indonesia?
Right. So, that video went viral yesterday, and obviously Nigerians are reacting to that video. And I'm happy that the Minister of International Affairs have also responded. They have since said they're in talks with our representatives over there, and we will be having some report from them to know exactly what happened. But while investigation is ongoing, we would like to hear Nigerians' views on this, because many have said that this is as a result of the perception of Nigerians abroad, how people see us, not just as Nigerians, but as a black race. And the fact that this man was allegedly assaulted because of immigration issues,
yes,
I believe. They said that he had an
according to them, they say it's during a roundup by Indonesian immigration officials while searching for irregular and illegal migrants in their country.
Right. So, although they have since apologized according to the papers, but our conversation is not, yes, we'll start with what happened, but it's more of how we are seen abroad, how we conduct ourselves. Yes, people will be bad if they want to be bad. You know, it's not about how we behave or not, but how are Nigerians representing Nigeria abroad? How do people see us? And I'd like to hear Nigerians' views on that. You can call us on 081-270-53687, 091-9076-948. Send us messages on YouTube and Facebook. We'll be happy to read your messages.
Yeah, Maria, I believe that people treat you the way you treat yourself. People value you the way you value yourself. It's the energy and the vibe that you give to them that will determine how they respond to you and how they treat you. And if they treat 1, 2, 3, and you come from a place where your government cannot stand and say, how dare you treat my citizens like that, they will take you for granted. That's just what is playing out all over the world. Anywhere you see Nigerians, other African, whether it's African countries, whether it's European countries, they always have the mindset that we can deal with you and get away with it, and your government cannot do anything about it. But there are some citizens of the world, you know, in some countries that you dare not touch one hair in their head. Their government will come after you. So we need to get to that point where we, first of all, recognize life, appreciate life, respect life enough in our country and carry it outside the country so that when other people see you, they respect you. So they are carrying out a raid on illegal immigrants. Are they not supposed to do it the right way, which is, following the fundamental human rights? They ask you for your papers. They ask you for don't you have your passport, your certifications? Don't they have data to cross-check to find out if you're there or not? Why do they have to go the route of physically assaulting you like that? It's because they have no respect for your color. They have no respect for your race. They have no respect for anything that comes from your place. So if it was somebody who was not in that color, for instance, they won't go that way. They will check through. They know the right things to do. So I think it's time for the Nigerian government to sit up. First of all, they say charity begins at home. Sit up in your home. Treat your people right. Then enforce it outside. That's the only way. If not, yes. Oyo is our case.
So I watched that video and it's just very, very sad. The way that we get treated, and at the end of the day, the economical power that we have, they say wherever you go to, if your nation is not good, there are two migration models. You are either an immigrant or you are an expatriate. And if your country is powerful, when you go somewhere else, you are an expatriate. Even though you might have gone there to look for work, but you are an expatriate. But if your country is poor, wherever you go to, even if you are very, very, you are educated, you are an immigrant. And until Nigerians realize that we owe it to ourselves to build our nation, we cannot blame our leaders. We can't blame the government. We have a responsibility. I get judged because I hold a green passport. If a senior colleague in the real estate industry said that the only reason he decided to pursue international, and he's a very rich man, another passport, was because twice he was embarrassed in America. They called him, they checked his bag, checked everything, found out he was in America for a legitimate reason, kept him for hours, called all the people that he gave numbers to. They spoke well for him. They did not apologize to him. He felt like the least you would have done was apologize. They carried his bag for him, but they did not say they were sorry. And they felt the only reason they did that to him was because he was carrying a Nigerian passport. They wouldn't do it. I went to Dubai and the queue, they said, if you are from this country, go this way. See them, they're just going easily through the checks. If you are from all the other countries, go this way. See the queue. All of us, they stick into our nose, checked all sorts, because the level of our country, where we have placed ourselves in the world. And we can study the Singapore model. We can study Chinese model. All these two were maltreated across the world at some point in time.
Up for themselves.
Until they got their act right economically. Until they created an identity, how they want to be seen. Right now, they are being seen a different way. Look at India. You don't need to be very, very rich. The Indian community, you might not like them, but guess what? Most successful businesses in Nigeria are being managed by Indians. Why? They have strong work ethics. Wherever they go to from their country, when they go there, they do their work well. You might have issues with them. A lot of jobs in Nigeria that are C-suits are going to these people. What can we do as a nation? We don't need to leave government.
Right.
Create your own identity.
We are the government.
Because there's
a saying in my place. It is not about economic power. No matter how wealthy, we can't all in the world be economically on the same level. And as you mentioned that Indians are here doing amazing things, I can tell you in every single country in the world, you have Nigerians that are expatriates that are helping those countries develop. The best in the medical fields in America, in all the world, in Saudi are Nigerians. Doing amazing in their fields. The greatest, what's it called? Coding engineer or whatever, this young man who did the robotics is a Nigerian. They choose to see us the way we want our people to see us. It's not about our economic power. 3 Israelis came into this country. Let me get their names again. I woke up to this news on Gatekeepers News this morning. 3 of them came into this country on a visiting visa, on a tourist visa, and drove straight to the east to make a video without getting the requisite permit. Is it possible in Israel?
You won't try it.
Rudy Rochman, David Benaim, and Noam Libyan, and they were picked up by our DSS and treated with the dignity that their people want to be treated. Nigeria remains the highest, best trade partner for Indonesia in Africa. And then they pick up every Nigerian. This is because he's a diplomat. That's why he made the news.
Yeah.
They say they are checking migrants in their country because he's a black man. And you held him like that. You question, you interview the person talks to
like
you.
Like a human
Thanks
being.
for Geneva, even if I've not been to the UK, they will ask you, where's your passport? You show them. If you are illegally in their country, they can do something about it without taking out your human dignity.
Yes, no.
So
but in Nigeria,
what do we do?
There are 10,000 Chinese illegal immigrants in Nigeria. You're doing business in the lab and
we
they
don't
not let us
harass
hear
them.
what.
Yes.
Who is picking them?
Okay, let me go on a break. Let me go on a break because there are different angles to this, and you're right, Nima, because we are not happy about what happened. But there are two sides to make a coin, right? So there's a part of Nigerian citizens who are illegal in different countries. Many of us will discuss that when we come back after the break. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
See, nurse, she's saying she feels unwell, despite my efforts to practice good hygiene.
Mom says wash your hands to keep the germs away.
Washing hands is good, but surfaces can also have germs.
kádàrá aláwọ̀ àkàkàjù. àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n bá kú tọ́jọ́ ọkú wọn ò tí ì pé wọ́n á papòdà síbòmíì.
Is that how you gonna say it?
ọkọ̀ tí wọ́n sọ nìyẹn.
bó ṣe wá kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ yìí pé òun fẹ́ rí mi kájọ fojúkojú yìí kò yé èmi o.
bó ṣe pé ẹ̀rí ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ àyà mi ti sọ kí.
torí kí ni.
àkọ́yẹ́ kọ́ mọ̀ pé jẹ́rẹ̀ ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ yọmọ mú yẹn rí flashback jọ́ ìkéyọ̀ mọ́tò mọ́ ẹgbọ́n mọ́.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup check. Are the scripts on the prompter? Script check. Are we set in the VCR? All team in place? VCR check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights are. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's Your View. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw ether material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Acting.
I was going to land
talking about the
Israelis.
Yes.
So this Israeli, the Roachman one, made a video about what he calls an abuse by the DSS and said that they are doing their Shabbat, that they were supposed to break it with a grape juice or wine, and that they were not giving that. But he said, look, and then he showed in that video that they were giving grapes and crackers in our DSS detention. And I'm asking, will he do a video of that kind of treatment of a black man in his country? Or should we go and open the books on the abuse of the Palestinians under any justification in their country? Because even if a person is a criminal, the reason why they say take to court is so that you preserve the person's dignity until the court who qualified that reverses that dignity and say, as part of your punishment, your life and everything is no longer yours.
So Nima, I mean, you're very correct on that line of thinking. But there's also another angle that have said that Nigerians get visas and travel, a visiting visa, and go and stay in a different country without the right papers. So they have actually set the precedence that a lot of people are looking for Nigerians who are illegal immigrants across the world. So I hear you, they should be treated with dignity. But there are lots of Nigerians that have done so many things that are taken from the system, what they've not sown into the system. So now, maybe there are countries like the US, Canada that treat you with respect, but it's other Asian countries, it's other Asian countries that the laws are not as strong, or the human rights laws are not as strong as those Western countries. They will treat us with this day.
You know that there are, BC mentioned that you are treated the way
you treat yourself.
The way you treat yourself, but there's another thing. You are treated the way your government treats you. You are treated the way the government fights for you. There's some level of reaction that our government could have given Indonesia. Immediately that story came out. That Indonesia will never try it again. You know, there's some things that you have a diplomatic commission. You have a diplomatic relationship. You have business relationships. There are pressure that you put on them because of who you are. Don't treat my citizens like this. It's the way you behave. They would decide that we can't try. So if it's a Nigerian, let's not do that. The Nigerians, the government would deal with us.
The government might know, but the people might not know that.
There's a body language that the government would give based on how you treat their people.
No, I want to quickly
Let me take this call, PC Nima. Adolphus from Ikeja. Are you there? Engineer Adolphus, you're live.
Yeah, I'm here. How are you doing?
Good. Go ahead, please.
I've been watching your program for over 5 years.
Thank you, sir.
I came back from the United States and I lived there for over 30 years.
Wow.
I have a son who just graduated from Harvard at the age of 21.
Wow.
And he's working with Google.
Wow.
So what I want to say is that, it's not what the country can do for you, it's what you can do for your country. We have to respect ourselves before any other country will respect us.
Thank you, sir.
People ask me, why are you back from the United States after 30 years? I say, why? This is my country. If I can help one person to grow, at least people will realize that, yes, I have got something for them. I've traveled far and wide, over 45 countries in the world. And that is how you will be treated, whether you like it or not, because you are black. So you cannot take it away from you. That is my submission to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Adolphus.
So I wanted to quickly add to what Tokwe was saying, that this made our government talk because it was a diplomat who was being treated. Our government should have been speaking when every Nigerian. I'm not saying being illegal in the country is good, but even when the person is there illegally, what your commission or your embassies are for is so that that person comes back or the person is deported. Except it is a crime that the person committed. And we've always respected Indonesia when it comes to their drug trafficking crimes. We've seen Nigerians on waiting lists who have been sentenced to death and executed. And Nigeria did not interfere in their sovereignty. But don't pick every black person
on the streets.
Leave them, let their country speak. But don't pick every Nigerian on the street and then our government to say, you went there illegally, anything can happen to you.
And there was a moving vehicle. I mean, let me take this call from Emmanuel to you, PC. Emmanuel, are you there? You're live, Emmanuel.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Hello, good morning.
We can't hear you.
Hello, good morning. My name is Emmanuel. I'm calling from Kaduna. My Emmanuel is spelled with I, please. Not E, is with I. Please, sorry, this is not the topic I want to discuss. It's the earlier topic that you people discussed. Okay. I wanted to say, in respect to the demolition of the church in Sokoto, in Borno State. Please, if you have a WhatsApp number, please, if you can send me your WhatsApp number, I'm going to send you photos. Reduce the volume, I said. Please, if you have a WhatsApp number, please, Can you send it to me? Let me send you photographs of mosques that are built on main road, on the road where the road has to be diverted, and other religious bodies or religious buildings that residential areas that are not demolished. So it's not that Christians are being marginalized enough.
Right.
That is just.
So that was a newspaper review. What topic? We're just reviewing the papers. Yeah, BC.
Yes, I want to say that because as a people need to stand up for our people, whether they are high class. Middle class or whatever class. So we should not be doing like what we do, even in, well, you know, we're very selective. Things will happen. Every 2-year-old is raped, every 3-year-old is raped. It's only when is a particular sector, celebrity, or a high profile person that you see everybody coming out with placard to show solidarity. What about the other people around you who you have known, you've seen that